Hello everyone and welcome to this learning video on numerical method. In the previous video lecture we have seen the Picard's method. We have seen the two examples to have the idea how this Picard's method operates. So if you have noticed there, it was mentioned in the each example that find the solution of differential equation up to first 5 terms. So the limitation was given that you have to go on finding the Picard successive approximation till you get the 5 terms or more than that in the successive approximations. So this is the example where no such restrictions is given, and so the question is how to decide whether we have reached the solution or not. So these issues we are going to address in this video lecture. So let's see. So this is one of the important learning video where you will come to know some of the main points on the Picard's method. So let's start with the first example. So use Picard's method to find y of 0.1. Given differential equation is this. So again we will compare this differential equation with a standard form. So we shall get it as f of xy is equal to y minus x upon y plus x, and x naught gives you 0, y naught is equal to 1. So this is the general requirement of the Picard's method, that you should have f of x, y, x naught and y naught, so that you can start with the getting the successive approximations by using the Picard's iterative formula. So let's apply Picard's iterative formula to get the first approximation. So first approximation is y1 equal to y naught plus integration x naught to x of f of x y naught dx. Now in order to make this process simpler, let's find out this quantity, this integrand separately. What is that? F of x y naught. So f of x as it is, y naught is having the value 1, so I'll put this over here. But the expression for f of xy is y minus x upon y plus x. So this helps me to get the value of f of x1. How? Just replace y by 1. So it is 1 minus x upon 1 plus x. So I am getting f of x y naught is equal to 1 minus x upon 1 plus x. Putting this in equation number 1, so we get y1 is equal to 1 plus integral x naught is 0, so 0 to x, 1 minus x upon 1 plus x dx. Now just expressing the numerator in terms of denominator, so this gets splitted in the form minus 1 plus 2 upon 1 plus x, which is integrable easily. So let's integrate this. So we have 1 minus x plus 2 log of 1 plus x. Integration of 1 upon 1 plus x is log of 1 plus x. So this is the expression for first approximation. Now as it is not given where we have to whether we have to calculate the first approximation, second, third or fourth. So what we do every time, as here in this example the value of y at 0.1 is required. So after getting each approximation we will find out the value of y. So y1 at 0.1 will be obtained by putting x as 0.1. So that comes out to be over here as 1.0906. Now as we have to find out second approximation, before that let's find out this integrand which is to be integrated there. So it is f of x y1. So we have y1 as this expression. This I'll use here, putting the using the definition of x f. So we have this as x minus y, right? X y minus x. So it is y minus x upon y plus x, right? Here in place of y I am having this complete entity, that is 1 minus x plus 2 log of 1 plus x. So using this we have the second approximation, which is equal to y naught plus integral x naught to x of f of x y1, substituting this expression over here and integrating. Now it's a big task to integrate this. So how it can be done? So we will make use of the substitution. So I'll put log of 1 plus x as t. So obviously x will be nothing but e power t minus 1, differentiating. So dx is equal to e power t dt, and the limits will be when x is 0, t will be 0, and when for x the value of t will be e power t minus 1. So in this way we get the replacement for this particular integral. Now when even after using this substitution we find it difficult to integrate, so this term is not at all integrable. So it means that the second approximation to the solution is not possible. So therefore this process limits or ends up to the first approximation only. So therefore the value of y at point 1 is considered as 1.0906. So you must have seen that this particular examples ends only in the first approximation, because the integration part which is to be required in the second approximation is not possible here. So this is how the one can solve the example. So this is a very important and a typical example. Now let's have the next example. So here we have to find out y of point 2. Again the differential equation along with the condition is given. So we'll find out the required quantities, that is f of x y, x naught and y naught. Now let's start with the Picard's iterative formula. So we'll find out first approximation. In the first approximation we need f of x y naught. We will calculate that. So how to get this? So it's a very simple. F of x y is x minus y. Just replace y by 1. So you will get x minus 1. Put this in equation number 1 and simplify it. So we get the simplification as this. Again, as no such restriction was given that you have to find out up to 3 term, 4 term, 5 terms, or just find out first approximation, second or third approximation. So what we will do, we will check the each approximation for a given value of x, and when we find that the two successive approximations comes out to be nearly same, then the process stops. So y1 at point 2 is given by y 0.8200. How this is obtained? Just put x as 0.2 over here, you will get this value. Now for second approximation we need f of x y1. So let's find out. Just put the value of y1 over here, which is 1 minus x plus x square by 2, and then use the definition of f. F is x minus y. Okay, so y is this. Simplifying we get this. Now so according to Picard's iterative formula, y2 is given by y naught plus integral from x naught to x of f of x y1. This we have already calculated here. So we will just put this and we will integrate, and applying the limits we get such type of expression. Again, as I said, we don't know where we have to stop. So every time we will have to find out each approximation for a given value of x. So find out this. For x is equal to 0.2, you will get this as 0.8386. Once I will get second approximation, I will compare it with the first approximation. If these two values are nearly same, then the process stops. Otherwise we will have to go for the next approximation. Now here we find that 0.8386 is completely away from 0.8200. So that's why we here there is a need of calculating the third approximation. Before that, as we want f of x y2 in the third approximation, so let's find out this value and putting in the formula of third approximation. Simplifying and getting the expression for third approximation in the series form like this: 1 plus x square minus x cube by 3 plus x to the power 4 by 24. Again we will find its value at 0.2. This is 0.8374. So I need to compare it with the y2, which is 0.8386, and here it is 74. So which are completely different, right? They are not considered to be nearly same. So I have to find out the next approximation, that is y4. Before that, let's find out the value of f at x y3. So f at x and y3, expression for y3 is this which we have obtained earlier, this one. Okay, now so use the definition of f. F is x minus y. Y in place of y, I am having this complete entity which I am going to put in place of y. Simplifying and then putting this in the expression of y4. So what will be expression for y4? It is y naught is 1 plus integration from x naught to x, that is 0 to x of x y3, which I have substituted here directly. Again simplifying it further, I am getting such type of series expansion for a fourth approximation, and then finding its value at 0.2. Now I am getting this as 0.8374, and if I will compare this with y3 at 0.2, it comes out to be nearly same. So as y4 of 0.2 is same as y3 of 0.2, so therefore we have to stop here as we have obtained the solution. So therefore the required value of y is given by 0.8374. So that's how one can decide where to stop and how to obtain the answer. So I hope the concept must be clear to you all. So In the next video lecture, we shall discuss the next numerical method for solving the differential equation of first order. So thank you all for watching the video. Keep watching, keep learning. Thank you all once again.